This is just a quickie. I forgot my microphone and my headphone set and everything. I'm outdoors. It might be a tiny bit of a breeze. There's all sorts of dog walkers close by. It's really very kind of comforting and soothing. We're approaching the end of yet another lunar cycle, and we're heading towards this peculiar Aries new moon eclipse. The moon is in Aquarius right now. It's going to go through Pisces and then all the way through Aries, right up to the very last 29-degree mark where we have this eclipse. It's very strange, and it's very close to Jupiter. And okay, so it's just awkward. Okay, I don't know how else to put it, because within a matter of hours, the energy flips into Taurus, and 2 weeks later, we have the other eclipse, which is the Taurus sun and the Scorpio moon. I've already indicated months ago that we're going to be looking at the financial aspects, global financial economy, and I would say something that might look like an implosion or some kind of what I would call an event that would be the equivalent of a massive tectonic shift. We're already seeing a lot of tectonic shifts and very extreme activity around the globe right now, with volcanoes and certain underground bizarre things happening. People are saying that there's a huge thing happening off Vancouver soon. They just had a 6.0 earthquake about 150, 200 miles off Vancouver, so that doesn't cause too much damage. Hello, Ivona. Greetings. Got another big earthquake over in Indonesia. Very big, but way out and underground, in the ocean, so not too much of a problem. My particular concern is the global finances. The whole thing is built on the most successful, far-reaching, metastatic fraud in human existence. And it's coming unraveled. It's becoming exposed. It's worked very well for the United States Federal Reserve, who was the instigator of the original fraud at the global scale, starting in 1913. That cycle is coming to a close, coming to a demise. Okay? The whole world effectively had to copycat the China model, the United States model, and the number one copycat, of course, was China. And China's own internal economy is imploding in real time, in probably a more dramatic way than the United States. The United States has serious structural problems financially, but the implosion is very slow motion, because we do have the advantage of still holding the reserve currency across the world. Have you noticed how this video has not been shut down yet? The last one was shut down within 54 seconds, and it's because I mentioned a certain global organization that calls itself brand new, and it covers the whole of the planet, and it's about creating a new organization, and it has 3 letters, okay? I'm not allowed to talk about it. Okay, a couple more points. Mercury retrograde is coming up soon. Isn't it funny that it's happening at the eclipse, and all the financial tectonic shifts that are inevitably going to happen? Personally, I won't be too affected because I have a very minimalist lifestyle, and I don't carry any of the high-risk type of, assets or financial activities that put a lot of people at risk. We're seeing unprecedented things happening in the American economy. bankruptcies are at record highs for commercial, for banks, commercial bankruptcies, businesses, private bankruptcies, all of it. It's to be expected. Auto repossessions, of course. Foreclosures are going to happen. And the big one is commercial real estate. In other words, skyscrapers, huge warehouses, office buildings, that kind of stuff. That's all imploding, okay? We already talked about that. Blackstone and a few others are already creating their vulture funds to suck up the demolition that's going to happen, and they're going to pick up massive amounts of derelict real estate at fire sale prices, and then they're going to rehab it and rent it back to you. And at the same time, they're hemorrhaging money on their own real estate investment trusts. You can't make this up. Staggering. So, Mercury retrograde, that's not much fun for business and business communications and day-to-day enterprise, you know, like the exchange of money, the exchange of communication with regard to money. Glitches, especially when it comes to the technical side of things. We all know this, okay? Now, here's the real point of this video. Pluto is in Aquarius 0 degrees right now, so you've already seen a tiny glimpse of what things are going to look like for the next 20 years. It's basically, in a nutshell, global revolution as we the people, the common people, the unwashed masses, wake up and start to realize we've been scammed over the last 250 years, but especially since 1913, and then profoundly with 4 particular families. I'm going to mention their names because I don't think that's a community guideline breach. It's the Clintons, Bushes, the Obamas, and the Bidens. All those families together combined with their alliances across, hello Lily Lynn in Austria. Greetings. There are these massive networks across the world that operate against we the people. One of the biggest ones, of course, is very famous. It just has 2 letters, and it's United and it's National. U followed by the letter N. And their plan, of course, is, I think they call it Agenda 21 or Agenda 30 or something like Agenda whatever. Hello. Greetings. And their plan, of course, is to create complete, utter world domination based on the model that is used by China, but not Chinese people, but the leadership of China with the initials C, followed by the letter C, followed by the letter P. It's, in other words, globalized tyranny, okay? I'm personally not interested, so I'm looking for ways in associations, friends, families, whatever it is, communities that will, sorry, there's a cement truck going by. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if it's interfering, but I'm assuming it is interfering with the sound. My apologies. Okay, he's moving away. I don't know why. This is a residential neighborhood. There's no construction here. But anyway, maybe he's picking up a packed lunch to take with him to a concrete drop or something. Anyway, you might have noticed global revolutions all over the freaking planet, okay? All over Africa, all over Central America, all over South America, all over Western Europe. Eastern Europe, of course, we had the confrontation between those people in Russia and the other ones over in the country of Ukraine. And we also have massive upheavals, revolutions, highly unpredictable, unstable actions, decisions, behaviors in the Middle East, and further all the way over into China. What I see happening, because I scour a lot of global, what I see happening is a massive global awakening about we the people looking around like, like stunned, dazed, shocked at the realization that, my God, it's not just America that was scammed. It's not just America that's scamming the rest of the world. It's all the leaders scamming the world. And the business model was based on the banking system as it got refined here in the United States, starting in 1913, reaching its culmination here today in this massive, massive, metastatic, cancerous disease that has infected the whole of planet Earth. And in order to survive, every other central bank and currency across the earth has to comply, play the same game, otherwise they go down. The problem is it's all fraud. It's all fake currency, fiat currencies. It's fiction. Remember, in my little book, the first sentence is, money is what we believe it to be. It's a belief system, okay? A lot of people, billions and billions of people, not just a few thousand, billions of people are waking up to the reality that money is a concept. Money is a belief system. It's actually called currency. Money itself has value. It has exchangeability, perceived value and actual value. Things of actual value, things like gold, silver, a house, a car, a truck, water, food, tools, hardware, relationships, communities, nature, trees, clean air, clean water, lots and lots of privacy and self-defense and adherence to universal laws and truth. Okay, that's all valuable stuff. But it has been perverted by this fake stuff that they call money. It's just currency, it's confetti. It looks very, very pretty. The new $100 bills are just gorgeous. I would love to have as many of those as possible. They look gorgeous when you stack them up and you pile them up and fluff them and look at them. Oh, God, it's beautiful. But I wouldn't really keep them. I'd keep a few handy. I'd go out and get something useful. Anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is that we're looking at a worldwide awakening. The same awakening cycle happened 250 years ago. There was decades of build-up, and eventually enough is enough, and this thing called the United States of America was born out of this decision by a small number of people to give the middle finger to King George of England. Basically said, we are not going to play this game anymore. We're not your slaves. We're not your serfs. We're not your servants. You can't tax us. You can't take our labor. You can't take all our goods and resources and time and energy and claim it for yourself just because that's what you're used to doing. Because you're a monarchy, a tyrannical monarchy. No, enough is enough. We're starting from scratch. We've got this new thing we're calling the United States, and it's based on we the people, where Pluto and Aquarius, we the people, the community is what it's all about, okay? A republic. We have a constitutional republic. Republic is based on the Latin words res publica. R-E-S, first word, a thing, publica, public, a public thing. The United States belongs to the people, okay? And if you read the Constitution and understand what a republic is and the similarities to democracy, and you understand a constitutional democracy, then that's what we theoretically have or had, or let's say the thing that we instituted 250 years ago. Now, of course, naturally, because of Pluto cycles, it has decayed and decayed and decayed and metastasized into the most corrupt, depraved, tragic aberration to what we have today. America should be ashamed of it. The leadership here, it's disgusting. It makes my blood boil, it makes me vomit, and makes me full of anger, rage, sadness, deep grief and sadness that we've come this far. But it's not the end of the story. All we're doing is going through a death cycle, and we're going to be reborn again, okay? I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about humanity, the thing that is the United States. The next 20 years are going to be tumultuous for the United States, and thereby implication the rest of the world, because the whole world is now sucked in to the Pluto awareness. Nobody knew about Pluto 250 years ago. But if you study astrology the way I do, you can see the exact correlations to where we are today compared to where we were in 1776. 1787, the Constitution was fully ratified and then brought into full operation in 1789 and then 1791. But it took a long time to get those things established, written on paper, like a mission statement for the United States. This is how we're going to conduct ourselves. This is how we're going to do business. It's documented. It's like the Ten Commandments, really, for a way for a community to live in harmony and balance with the federal government working for us, and their number one job is to protect we the people. Okay, and then secondarily, ensure that global trade is managed ethically, properly, and so on. All the other things in the federal government are fictions that were made up by power-hungry maniacs. Okay, power is more addictive than fentanyl. Okay. Anyway, here's my point. Pluto is retrograding at the end of April. It's going to be retrograde for pretty much the rest of the year. Okay? So it's going to retrograde going backwards. Looks like it's going backwards to us here on Earth. Retrograde through the 29.5 degree, 29, 28.5, 28, and so on, back through the final degrees of Pluto in Capricorn. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to have this intense desperation of power-hungry maniacs at the top of the global power pyramid, doing anything and everything they can out of sheer desperation to hold on to their power, to maintain their power, to try to impose their power, their concepts of power, their desires for power, not just on their local communities, their towns, their countries, China or Nigeria or Brazil, Turkey, all these places that have become heavily influenced by, I would call, evil forces. Okay? The whole planet is infected, deeply infected with metastatic cancer. It's incredibly hard to heal metastatic cancer after it goes through your whole body. It might be in your breast, or it might be in your face, or it might be in your glands or organ. Once it goes metastatic, that means the cancer cells have found their way into the lymphatic system, the blood system, all the fluids, every organ in your body. Try to fix that, okay? Effectively, the organism dies and then gets reborn out of its own primal sludge. That's what I feel is going to happen. The Pluto and Capricorn thing represents, in the most unhealthy way, the extreme aberrations and perversions of power at the highest levels. Okay? That's very obvious if you watch the stuff that I watch. Anything from, the Epstein scandals to the banking scandals that cover it all up, all the child trafficking, hundreds of thousands of children that just magically disappear into the arms of who? Elites? Anyway, I don't want to scare too many people, but please understand the rest of this year is going to be a freak show when it comes to the politics and banking and finance, okay? All over the world. There's going to be warmongering, okay? Especially certain already well-documented combatants, okay? They're going to be going at it. One of my deepest concerns is that we're on a ticking clock, because it's so obvious to the rest of planet Earth right now. Every country on Earth is deeply aware of the embarrassing situation we have in America with our leader here. He's basically owned by the CCP and a bunch of other countries that give him money to sell America. Okay, it's documented now. I'm not making stuff up, okay? It's all documented. It's on mainstream news, okay? So I'm just stating facts, okay? This country is under the so-called leadership of basically a crime family. And we let it happen. And law-abiding people have to find a way to take this all apart and rebuild from scratch. It's not easy to do. There's one fellow that I trust and believe who has a fighting chance of restoring things and making this country amazing again. We'll see what happens. I know where I'm placing my votes. I know what I'm doing with my money, my time, my energy, my resources, my friends and my family. Okay? There's going to be a lot of people hurting. If you see what's going on in China itself, the Chinese economy, it's very scary. I would not want to be a Chinese citizen right now. It's very sad, actually. It's very, very tragic. It's very sad. Here I am. It's a beautiful day. I know, I'm just going to show you some, a typical leafy suburb over here in the city. And I don't know, let me just do this and then we'll just wrap it up, okay? Okay, I just wanted to share this with you. Okay, it's just a suburban little park. There's almost no wind, it's very quiet. I came here so I could put something out. And so far, the video is still alive and working. I must be doing something right. Anyway, the points of the video. Again, Mercury's flipping retrograde very soon. Pluto is flipping retrograde from 0 degrees Aquarius back into the final degrees of Pluto in Capricorn. So please prepare for massive disruptions, okay, from the top down that are going to affect you directly or indirectly. You can't escape from it. So prepare yourself. Do whatever you have to do. Protect your money. Protect your privacy. Protect yourself. Be loving. Be loved. Okay? Love is as love does. Okay? Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope to keep up with you again soon. Hopefully Sunday evening we'll do a few little mini live readings. Thank you very much. I'm going to close out now. Okay, stopping. Yes, okay.